Welcome to Zone In Sports, your favorite spot for real talk, bold takes, and everything in the zone when it comes to sports. From hard-hitting analysis of the Miami Hurricanes football to the hottest stories across the sports world, we're bringing you that energy, passion, and a little bit of swagger, just like the U. So whether you're tailgating in the Coral Gables or arguing in the group chats or just vibing in your way to work, buckle up. You're in the zone with your host, D. Hamp.
What's good, Zone In Nation? If you're an Ohio State fan, I appreciate you being brave enough to click this video today because the Miami Hurricanes went into last night, walked out with a 24-14 statement win over the Buckeyes. Hey, check it out. This wasn't a fluke. This wasn't the refs. A lot of people talking about the refs, and it wasn't luck. Miami lined up and beat the Ohio State physically all across the field. And I got questions for the national media this morning. Now I got Big E backstage. He finna come on and we finna get it cracking right off the top, baby. Let's go, Big E. What's good, baby?
Nothing. Good morning, good afternoon, everybody. Happy New Year to everyone out there, wherever you are, even to all you people in that state called Ohio. Happy New Year to you.
Hey, let's get it cracking right off the top. We finna talk about this, the defensive domination. Now, I know we talked last week, and we talked about how Heatherman would have a plan. The crazy part about it, you and I, for the people that are out there, full disclosure, Eric and I sat and watched the game together last night. And coming out the half, Ohio State made some adjustments. In the fourth quarter, Heatherman made those adjustments to seal that victory. But let's talk about the Miami's front seven and how they played specifically last night.
Domination, aggressive, very physical. I mean, Bain and Mesidor set the tone with the first sack in the first quarter. They set the tone. They've been saying this for the last 10 days since the Texas A&M game that Miami's defensive line is elite.
Yeah.
And that they were much better than Indiana. And Indiana's not bad. It's not a slight against Indiana. They don't have bad personnel on their defense. They got above average guys on their defensive line. I say above average guys. And they were able to get to Julian saying, this says, Happy New Year, bro.
Happy New Year, IMAX.
This really goes to Ryan Day and his offensive line. And I want to point something out. 2 years ago, Ohio State lost to Michigan.
Right.
And they were they had to get that man an armed escort to the crib.
Right.
And they put all the blame in Kyle McCord's lap, the quarterback. Remember that?
Yeah.
And they ran Kyle McCord right out of Columbus, Ohio, and he went to Syracuse. And they brought in Will Howard from Kansas State. I thought that was wrong what Ohio State did because that fell on Ryan Day. There are people in Ohio State that want to get rid of Ryan Day, whether they want a natty and whether they beat Michigan. They see the inept with his coaching as a head coach. People question Mario Cristobal as a head coach. No, I'll take Mario over Ryan Day any day of the week.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll take Mario over Ryan Day because you seen what happened last night. You saw what happened 3 years in a row with Michigan.
Yeah.
Okay, they beat Michigan this year, but now they're at home on the couch.
Right.
So they had a squad last year. And what really carried that team is leaving to go be the head coach at South Florida now.
Yeah, Hartline.
Yeah. He was your guy. He was your number one recruiter. He was the one getting all your wide receiver developer that was putting all them guys first rounds in the league. He was the one coming down to South Florida with the bag to get the big time Jeremiah Smiths and whatnot. So this goes against Ryan Day. They told y'all for 10 days that this Miami defensive line was elite.
Right.
And it's just it's a throwback to what Miami used to be when they used to have Jerome Brown and they used to have Cortez Kennedy and they had Vince Wilfork and Warren Sapp. Those teams were all great teams because they had a D line. If I could rush four at you,
right,
high school, NFL, or college, if I can rush four and not have to blitz,
hey,
and
you know what? I ain't gonna even put it on right. I think no matter what he schemed up, he couldn't stop them boys.
No,
them boys,
I don't think he could either because
them boys was on a mission last night, boy.
He was on a mission, man. And
they was bringing it. Hey, for you guys that's coming in here, hey, do me a favor, hit that like button. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, subscribe to the channel. If you want your questions read, hit that super chat button. And also I want to talk about where we talking about that front seven, something that they did all year. All year, something that was I don't harken back to last year, but was Achilles heel, tackling well in space. They tackled extremely well last
They were tackling well and they were hitting these dudes hard. And Ohio State was hitting too.
Ohio State was bringing it, man.
Malachi got popped a few times.
Yeah, man, them boys was hitting. It was hitting all across the field.
I think it was a wake-up call for Malachi. I'd be like, yo, we done had, I ain't gonna say gravy train, but okay, we done had the precursor with Pitt and Virginia Tech and whatnot. But now you playing against some dudes.
Some dogs.
Ohio State got some dudes. And he got popped. And what's number 2 for Ohio State on defense? Day?
The guy that's going to the league.
Dude.
Yeah, he a beast. Downs.
Dude out there, a monster.
Yeah, he a monster.
The other guy they got, he a beast. And I love the way Terrell Fletcher. Mark Fletcher trucked him in the hole on a running play. And it's like, that's the first tackle he missed all season. So shout out to Mark Fletcher.
Dang.
But listen, man, this was a heavyweight fight. And the Miami kids, to go off what somebody said after the game, and I think it was Michael Irvin. It was Michael Irvin. These kids get disrespected, and they see that, and they talk about that. They were disrespected in the A&M game. They felt disrespected in this game.
9.5 point dog coming in.
9.5 point. It was an 11.5 at first when when Miami first won. The first dropping was 11.5. Then it dropped to 10.5.
Right.
And then 9.5. And it's like, what the hell are they thinking about in Vegas?
Right.
I'm very interested to see after tonight, whoever wins between Mississippi and Georgia, what the spread in this game going to be. Because I'm pretty sure Miami going to be the underdog.
They're going to be the underdog again.
They're going to be the underdog to Georgia.
For sure.
So shout out to the defense. Shout out to Heatherman for making the adjustments.
And they never had, watching that game, saying never looked comfortable. They was on his, excuse me for saying, they was on his ass all night.
That one sack when Mesidor got to him and then slung him and body slammed him damn near, I was like, dude getting whooped and he know it.
He know it.
He running for his damn life. I mean, I give the Ohio State receivers some credit. They saved him a couple times. They did save him. But
and the funny part about it, I watched his post-game interview saying, and he was saying that they had the game plan to come up, throw the ball early. But it's easier said than done when they get into you with 4. They might occasionally bring a delayed blitz.
They blitz what's name? Man, it's beautiful down in Miami right now. It's sunny for this game. But anyway, Ohio State deserved credit. They made adjustments at the half.
Yeah.
Came out in the third quarter. They switched it up. They started running. They were coming with 2 and 3 tight end sets.
Yeah. Tight end in the backfield.
Right. Tight end in the backfield, 1 or 2 on the line. I said, okay. They were pulling guards and tackles. I said, yeah, okay. Now it's about to see. And they started getting a little run.
And what I kept saying, I said, Heatherman got to adjust to this. Heatherman got to adjust. He finally did. Yeah.
He went back to what he was doing in the first half. Just stay aggressive. He went to a more of a cover 2 safety deep. I don't want them to beat me deep. Just keep everything in front of us. And they started running and getting off quick passes. They borrowed out of Louisville's playbook. We knew everybody going to borrow from Louisville playbook because they look at that as a way to slow down that pass rush. So I want to shout out the linebackers, Basaint and Motor Torre, and I want to shout out Aguirre. The linebackers played good, very well. Can't say enough great things about Keontae.
Right.
Keontae gonna go in the draft next year, and I think with the way he doing things, he trying to up his draft status.
Who is that?
Keontae Scott.
Yeah.
Him and Mesidor. You tell me if Bain a first round draft pick, why couldn't Miami could potentially have 3 or 4 guys in the first round of this draft.
Right.
2 for sure with Bain and Maui Noga. But who's to say Keontae can't work himself in there if he has a really good game against the next one in the national championship?
Right.
And same with Mesidor. Mesidor and Bain feed off each other. So there's a lot of empty seats in that stadium.
And it's crazy. It was like,
my guy told me he didn't think the Texas fans would travel too well. I'm like, I don't know, Texas. They from Lubbock, Texas to Miami, only about 10, maybe 12-hour drive. I said, the folks from Eugene got to fly a long damn way from Portland.
Right. So getting back to this, I'm thinking to myself, when I looked at, especially coming into this whole season, the thing that I thought that made this team better than last year's team was the balance. I think they was out of balance last year with Cam, and no disrespect, you guys know I don't like to talk about last year, but the balance and the way Carson Beck masterfully controlled the game. He didn't do a lot, but what he did was effective. Using his legs was the biggest.
Oh, man, that was what Beck did with his feet. Last year, Cam had to do a lot on his own. He had to ad-lib.
What's up, Susie Pink? Yeah, Popo?
Susie,
like it?
Susie Pink. Anyway.
You don't like that name?
I love it.
Okay.
My man.
Oh, get your mind out the gutter, bro, and come on back.
Anyway, it ain't in the gutter. It's not in the gutter. Never. It's not in the gutter. But anyway,
okay.
Shout out to Carson Beck for using his feet, getting first downs, and shout out to Coach Cristobal. That was a first down by Beck when he ran that.
Oh, and they called him down short?
And they called him down short with his shin. And I thought, okay. And he decided to punt because he said this morning on game day he was 50-50 between going for it and punting, but they were up 14-0.
Right.
And he didn't want to not get the first and have a flip the field of them, and it was a short field, and then they snatched the momentum.
Right. So
he decided to punt, which was the right move. He made the right decision to punt.
Right.
But yeah, shout out to Carson. All the heat he taken, all the criticism.
Right.
And I was arguing with my guy this morning about that, where he said, hey,
like, what do you think?
He left. He came to Miami for the money. I said, it wasn't just the money. I said, you got to understand something. Georgia ran him out of town.
Yeah.
If anybody, who's going to be the fall guy, Carson Beck or Kirby Smart?
That shit rolled down.
Who's going to be the fall guy at Ohio State? Who's going to be the fall guy at Ohio State?
Right.
Ryan Day or Kyle McCord, the quarterback, who they blame losing to Michigan on. They ran McCord out of town because they didn't want to lay the blame at the feet of the person that belonged at, Ryan Day.
Right.
Same with Kirby Smart. Remember, Kirby didn't want to get rid of him. Kirby wanted him to stay. But the Georgia boosters, the Georgia alumni, that money, it was the ones that was like, look, we're going to run with Gunnar Stockton. Going to let him go to wherever he want to go.
Right.
And we're going to lay all the dirt at his feet. We'll let the fan base, the Georgia media, the Georgia Bulldog machine, they'll blame him. Instead of blaming Kirby Smart for saying, you know what, my offensive line was garbage. My running game wasn't there.
I don't think Kirby called a bad game. I just thought Miami defense was schemed up so well that even on that pick six that we talk about, that was just great film study. So it ain't so much. I think it took a while for for Ryan Day to find his groove, But that just goes to the testament how good Heatherman and that coach, the whole coaching staff, whether you go to Jason Taylor, whether you go to Damian Lewis, whether you go to, Beard, these guys are locked in and ready to play. So I just think that if any knock I got on Ryan Day, I think they feel themselves a little bit too much. What do I mean by that? I think they thought they was going to come in and walk all over Miami.
Arrogance.
Thank you.
He did. Arrogance. He was arrogant. That's why you could tell leading up to this game, Jeremiah started being arrogant. And then, oh, damn, he hurt. I know he's feeling that. Jeremiah was arrogant. The D tackle was arrogant. Ryan Day went on talking about, well, I've been to Florida State, Miami. It is this, but there's nowhere like Ohio. You right. Ohio's a fucking dump. Okay, I've been there. I don't like Ohio. There's nothing there I want to see. There's a few things in Cincinnati I wouldn't mind seeing, but you can keep Cleveland and all that, and Columbus and all that crap. So anyway, Ohio State is a well-coached team. I'm not going to take nothing away from them. I don't like them, but it is what it is. They're a very well-coached football team. They got some of the best players in the country. Yeah. I just feel like this is Miami's year.
Yeah.
This is their year. Bain said it after the Pitt game. If you remember when they asked him, is Miami a playoff team? And Bain looked right at the person and said, no, Miami is a championship team.
Right.
I knew right there when he said it, I said, these dudes, they thinking different.
Right.
They're going to speak their thoughts into reality.
And they look so calm out there. That's that.
No, they didn't panic because they took that shot from Ohio State in the third quarter. You knew Ohio State wasn't just going to be down with no.
Oh no. Nah.
Okay. Remember I said last night when they scored, I told my wife, I said, look, she looked at me like, they scored. I said, of course. I never said they was going to shut them out.
Right.
We knew they was going to score.
Hey, look.
You can't stop them.
They got studs over there, man. They got some studs. You got to give them credit.
And they're well coached.
Right.
But see, Ohio State's their kink in their armor was their run defense and their O-line.
Yeah.
Same as Texas A&M.
Yeah.
All for 10 days, all they said was Miami's not going to be able to run on them. Joel Klatt, I'm going to call you out, Klatt. I'm calling you out. You sat there and said Ohio State was better all across the board, and Miami hadn't seen nobody like them yet, and they're that much better than A&M, and what happened? Mark Fletcher was running through them like it was no problem.
When Miami decides to run the ball, and look, this has been I think why a lot of fans get upset with Miami. It's because, and we talked about this last night, is that you hate to say they play down to their competition, but the games that they played and they lost this year, they just wasn't locked in. But when it comes to big games, especially this year, man, they come out and dominate, man. So it's crazy how they do that. What's up, Pinellas? He said the Hurricane story is being written. They start off whooping the national championship runner. That's right, Notre Dame. Last night, they whipped the national champion's ass. That's right. We talking about Ohio State. Like they say at the barbershop, who's next? That's what we're talking about. And that's impressive. You just think you beat the last year's national champion, and you turn around and you beat the runner-up earlier in the year. And for all the people to go out there and say ACC this, and it ain't even about conferences when you get into this anymore. That's the thing. I think that even I think I was watching a Ohio State station last night, and they were saying, yeah, you went out there and you let a team for the ACC do this to you. What the hell do that mean?
It don't mean nothing. Just these clowns, man.
Look, yeah, like what do that mean?
I'm trying to be civil. It's a new year. I'm trying to be, I don't like these dudes. Okay, I don't like that school. I don't like nothing about them. I gave you your props. That's all I'm gonna give you. I really want to give you more than that, but all these I'm at a loss of words because I don't even know how to describe these people. You're in your feelings. You don't understand analytics, numbers, and matchups. Okay.
Right.
It was quite clear Miami was the better team on both sides of the ball in the line of scrimmage, just by the matchups. Ohio State, they're starting right guard out. They move a left guard to play that position. Ryan Day calling plays. Well, he's an excellent play caller. Joel Klatt said, if he's got time to plan and blah, blah, he'll get really aggressive. And I don't think Miami can handle that.
Right.
Joel Klatt, you and Joey Galloway and all the rest of them, you should have been listening to Nick Saban.
Told him.
You should have listened to Nick Saban because y'all call him the GOAT, but then when he tried to tell you, you wasn't listening. You should have been listening to Nick Saban. He told you. He tried to tell you who the most complete team was, who the most dangerous team is out here. It ain't these two. It's not Bama and Indiana, and it's not going to be Ole Miss and Georgia.
Right.
I really feel like Miami going to win this whole thing just by winning last night. I think that was the best team they're going to play was last night on paper. I know Georgia got some dogs, but their secondary is real Swiss cheese. Tennessee showed everybody that. And they've gotten better.
Yeah.
But I don't think – I don't know, man. I just think on paper Ohio State is better than Georgia. And I feel like they got past this team. I can't see nobody beating them. They're starting to peak right now, man.
Now, what do you think? Now, it was a little controversy, and I've been listening to this about the clock management going down the stretch for more of Ryan Day side because, you know, I did go back and look at it. They did let them score, but I mean, really, they had to because if they didn't, the Hurricanes was going to run the clock out anyway. It was some debate of should they have taken a timeout a little earlier before the 2-minute break.
It wouldn't have mattered, man.
It wouldn't have mattered to me
because if you watch the interview with Shannon Dawson, he's called it. We had to have a touchdown that last drive.
Right.
He said 3. I would have considered 3 a defeat because you would have left that only put you up by 6. That would have left them time to go down the field. And all it takes is for some super bomb again to number 4, and they're right in striking distance to win the goddamn game by a point.
Right.
We'd have been some sick people last night. So I don't understand them letting Brown score like that because I watched that play a few times.
They let him score.
They let him score. I'm like, why didn't they tackle him? I mean, some said he should have went down to 1-yard line. And because they could have ran the clock out with that. It would have been it was already I want to say it was first or second down when they scored the touchdown. And if he would have landed on the 1-yard line, they would have burned their last time out. They would have kicked a field goal and they would have left Ohio State less than 10 seconds left.
Right.
Which still, anything can happen.
Anything could happen. That's what I'm saying. Make it a 2-score game.
At this point, Shannon Dawson, from what he said, he didn't want to leave no chance. They had to have 6.
Right.
And they got it on the strength that Ohio State let them score. I really felt, because I even said to you last night, I said, look at 26 or 46. I said, we just kind of half-ass hit them and just let them in.
Yeah, but that's probably the thing.
I don't know what Ohio State was thinking.
I think they were thinking try to score quick, get in field goal range, maybe kick a field goal, onside kick. That's
what makes you think you can do that against this defense?
But that was their only hope there. He said Sam Levitt was front seat at the game. Heard he was at the game. Sam Levitt. Arizona State quarterback, right?
I mean, I'm pretty sure he was.
Yeah.
I don't dislike Levitt. It's just I'm concerned about, like a lot of people, I'm concerned about his injury. Like they was concerned about Beck's injury.
Right, yeah.
Like I said, my number 1 pick is Cincy quarterback. My number 2 pick would either be the North Texas QB or the quarterback coming out of Notre Dame that was battling against C.J. Carr.
This year or the one that went
this past fall, young black dude.
Yeah.
He was touted as the starter.
Right.
And they say he really nice. And now he going in the portal.
Yeah.
I don't really want to get old boy from Florida. I don't dislike him, but no.
Now, did you Lagway?
Lagway. No, I don't want Lagway.
Well, and he injury prone too.
Injury prone too. I don't want him. I don't want old boy staying at South Carolina.
Yeah.
I don't want old boy from North Carolina State.
Mm-mm.
I don't want him. I don't dislike none of these kids, but that ain't in this style of offense. We don't need a running quarterback.
No.
We need a quarterback that can be in the pocket, that can make the reads, that can run if he has to.
If he has to, that's
Yes,
the key.
he has to. He can get 2, 3, 5, 8 yards. Look what Beck did. Beck got you a couple first downs. Shout out to Carson Beck on that last one where I think it was like 3rd and 8 or something, or 2nd and 8, and he ran that ball and he put his head down and hit old boy and rolled over him.
Right.
And got the first.
And that's big time moments in the game that we were talking about. He made key big moment plays where he could have forced the ball, but he was like, you know what? No, let's take care of it.
Right.
Do what we got to do. Move these chains, keep the clock moving. That's playing within the system.
Is the national media going to finally get off this dude's head about making decisions? And he played a great game, man. He made great decisions. I mean, here's another game with no picks. Okay, the dude, what else you want this dude to do? Just because he ain't putting up 300 yards passing, that don't mean he ain't, you know.
And you don't need to when you got
a rock
solid defense.
All you got to do is be a game manager. Like I told my guy this morning, I said people got amnesia in this country. They forgot. Last year when I went to the game to watch Cam and them play Virginia Tech, where I got this hat.
Right.
The next day was the big game between Georgia and Bama. Remember that was the big game that Saturday night.
Right. I
was in Miami. We was at the what's the place at Union Station that closed? They all over in every city. Restaurant. Hard Rock.
Okay.
Hard Rock. Well, anyway, we was there eating down there on the waterfront, and we had that game on. And remember, Bama jumped out big on Georgia, and in the second half, Carson Beck led them back. And I said, you know what? No, people forget about that. They was down huge to Alabama.
Right.
And he threw like 4 touchdowns in the second half and brought them back. So
I mean, when I look
never
at
doubted Carson Beck. I never doubted him. I never questioned him coming to Miami. I thought it was a great pick. He was the best quarterback available last year.
Right. And if I read these lines to you, you tell me which one is better. 25 for 35, 287, 1 touchdown, 2 picks, or 19 for 26, 138, 1 touchdown.
Give me
that.
You
know what I'm saying? So
no picks. Give me that.
No picks. Yeah, give me that all day.
Because I brought something to the table that Ohio State didn't. Defense.
Right.
Complete defense. I believe they kept Ohio State to less than 50 yards rushing.
And crazy.
I believe it was less than 50 yards. I think it was like 48 yards.
Crazy.
That is ridiculous that in 2 football games, 2 playoff games, Miami has 12 sacks.
12 sacks.
And they kept both teams under 50 yards from rushing.
Yeah.
The last game against A&M, they had a running quarterback, and he ran a couple times, but altogether, him and his running backs was less than 50 yards.
Yeah.
This defense is elite.
Hey,
I don't know what I don't know what happened, what light they brought new personnel in, because a lot of these dudes was on that team last year, at least the D-line.
Right.
And the linebackers, the only thing different was the secondary.
Right.
I don't know what happened. Maybe it's the scheme.
Right. So Beck had the bomb to Daniels.
Yeah.
Yeah. Man, we ain't gonna even talk about these refs.
I don't want to talk about the ref situation because
it was a clean game.
It was a clean game. There was a lot of penalties in that game.
They just let them play.
A lot of holding that they got away with. But I will say this. Pat McAfee interviewed the refs before the game.
Okay.
And the head ref said to Pat McAfee, they don't pay a lot of money to see us throw flags.
Thanks.
So he said he knew then that they're not going to be out here doing this shit. They're going to let these boys play. That's why you didn't see no flags to the second half. One against Miami when Jeremiah scored, which I still didn't see that. And then, and then they called one against Ohio State when Lightfoot got held and wrapped around the neck, and he still got the sack on saying. Yeah. They called that because they was holding Mesidor and Bain and Blunt all night, but they wasn't calling it. They let them boys play. They let them play.
And
So
that was interesting too.
I'd rather have a game like that than ticky-tack flags back and forth.
Yeah.
Stopping the game, flag here, stopping the game. Unless it's something obvious and blatant.
Right.
Really blatant. They let these dudes play.
Right.
I think most of us in the fan base world would like to see that.
All right, thanks for the super chat. He said, here's my application fee to be a Miami fan. Or will one of you sponsor me? Hey, we
appreciate the money, but you ain't got to do all that. What he say to her in the Mac when she said, "I choose you"? He said, "What I got to do to be with you?" And she get that joint. He said, "You ain't got to do all that."
Oh, that's my man from last week, ain't it?
Yeah.
Hey, shout out. Hey, look, mad respect for you just tapping back in, bro.
Mad respect for tapping in because some of your peers are some hoes. They ain't want to tap in. They done disappeared. I've been all over Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat. I'm looking for all of them. I'm looking at y'all in the daytime with a flashlight trying to find these Ohio State fans that was doing all that talking.
Hey, man, Joe J.
Appreciate you, man.
Jay, you a real one, bro. You a real one, man.
You a real one.
We mess with you, dog. We mess with you. Hey, like I say, if you ain't subscribed to the channel, go on and subscribe, man.
Hey, all my Notre Dame fans, y'all can still tap in. We ain't mad at you.
Hey, Big Kev, where you at out there, man?
You should not be mad at Miami. You should be mad at the college committee and ESPN because I'll say it again for the record. Notre Dame should be in the playoff.
Yeah.
They should have been in the playoff. Alabama should have been a 12 seed. There should have never been a Tulane and James Madison. Notre Dame should have been in. They should have been in there. I think Texas should have been in there.
My man said he got to get on a plane with the hangover after a loss. Hey, man, we all have been there before.
you flew to Dallas for that? And you a real one for that one.
Hey.
I ain't mad at you. I flew for the Louisville game and took an L, so I know.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We all have been there before. So, hey, that it's rough too when you go through that.
Oh, shit. Thompson Turner can't sleep after that Louisville loss. I was like, how the fuck we lose to Louisville?
Now, this goes back to a video that I shot and then I talked to you briefly about off camera. This is what Cristobal had envisioned for Miami. Physicality, discipline, prepared all the time,
and culture.
And violence. They kept saying in the game yesterday, play with violence. Now, the question I got for you is, because we both follow a lot of social media posts and stuff like that. And this can go out to Ohio State fans and any fan in it. What does it take for a coach to finally get respect from his fan base? That's what gets me, What do a coach have to do to get that respect?
I think it depends on the individual school and the fan bases. Take Ryan Day, for example. I think Ohio State fans would be satisfied if they go 10-2, 9-3, even 8-4, as long as they beat Michigan. If they beat Michigan, Ohio State fans gonna celebrate.
Yeah,
they gonna celebrate, and rightfully so. That's been a long-standing rivalry, and I said this last week or 2 weeks ago. All your regional rivalries, they're big games.
Right.
Bama and Auburn, big game.
Right.
Big game. Now, the only difference why I say the Florida State-Miami rivalry was better was because, at least back in the day, that game had national championship implications. Michigan and Ohio State never did. Alabama and Auburn really never did. It was just an in-state rivalry that goes back decades, even pre-integration, back when the sport was segregated. It's just always been there.
Right.
Alabama and Auburn, for example. Same with Michigan and Ohio State. I think that's a bigger rivalry than Michigan State.
Yeah.
That's a bigger rivalry than Ohio State, Ohio, or Ohio State, Penn State. That's their Super Bowl. That's their national championship. So for the Ohio State coach and Michigan coach, yeah, winning a national championship is great. beating each other is greater, I think, for them. I think if you ask an Ohio State fan or a Michigan fan, what would you rather do? Lose to them and win a natty, or beat the brakes off of them and not win a natty? And they'll take that win. I think Ohio State would rather pummel Michigan and vice versa, and they'll consider that a success.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I mean, in their case, but for Mario, I think what happened, not just last night, but last week, this season as a whole, as it progressed, it really should put the naysayers to bed about him, about Shannon Dawson. It should put you to bed. If you know the sport, if you really know it, and you know matchups, like I said, and analytics, that A&M game, nobody's perfect. No coordinator is ever going to call a perfect game. But like I said, Dawson was playing chess. Everybody else was playing checkers.
Yeah.
He knew what he was doing. With 30 to 40 mile an hour winds, he knew what he was doing.
Right.
And that's 2 games in a row where Miami scored on the final drive.
Hey, and ran the clock out.
Ran the clock out.
Hey, look.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did.
And before I get to this comment, this kind of finna go to the next. How many teams in college football can bully Ohio State like Miami? He said Lightfoot got necktied multiple times while being double teamed. My fellow Chicagoans turned that corner with the big quickness and speed. Now I want to read this one.
Let me tell you something. With Bain and Mesidor being gone next year, Miami is not taking – that's funny. Miami is not taking a drop off because you got Lightfoot and you got
Scott
and the other boy, Hayden Lowe.
Yeah.
They kept him out this year. He got hurt or something.
Yeah.
Like week 1 or 2, and then Mario decided we're going to bench you for the rest of the year. So you are fresh, because they say he is another freak.
Yeah.
And Armando Blunt can play on the end.
Hey,
he's a defensive end that helped. He moved on the inside to help with the depth on the inside, because it's really only Blunt, the kid that trans number 11, and Scott.
Yeah.
Now they're saying the kid Donta Simpson is talking about going in the portal, and I'm surprised by that. I got to verify that, because he would have definitely been in the rotation more next year.
Right.
But they're not going to take a drop on that either line next year. I think Miami going to be just as lethal, and they might even be better next year. Hey. They might even be that much better.
What's up, 850 out there? Canes up, nose down. Let's MF go. Mario Dawson and Heatherman were flawless last night. Yeah, we agree.
They're going to have to be flawless for the next 2 weeks, two games. The next 2 games, they're going to have to be, like he said, they're going to celebrate last night. They're going to do a little celebrating today. It's the new year. And come tomorrow, Friday, they back in the lab getting ready they'll know then who it's going to be. After tonight, they're going to know who they're going to play against. And we don't know. We all assume Georgia, but, Ole Miss was whooping them earlier this year.
Yeah, and Georgia came back in that game.
They came back in that game. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I don't think it's going to matter.
It says the difference between OSU and Michigan versus Miami, Florida State, Florida. Here in Florida, each fan base want national titles first. I want the national titles first. Okay. Yeah. Okay, I see what he's saying there. Yeah. I agree there.
Yeah. Because you got to think back in the 80s and 90s, their programs were in a different place than Michigan and Michigan State. Now, I'm not saying Michigan and Ohio State weren't good. Alabama had some years. Auburn had some good years in the early 80s with Bo and whatnot. Auburn fans still mad about 83. They felt like they should be the national championships, not Miami, because they had 1 loss.
Right.
But be that as may,
right.
It is what it is. And
now, my Ohio State fan says the OSU audience has changed. He said most want natties. the old era is dying out. Urban Meyer took a I can see that.
I can see that. I can see
it.
I mean, generationally, yeah, I can see that. The younger people, they might not be into that. Like he said, the older crowd, the older generations, the rah-rah Ohio State and Michigan people.
And the sports media then kind of dictated that too, or the sport networks by,
because they back in the day, they wanted that was their Super Bowl.
Yeah.
When they played, it was like everything up in Michigan and Ohio State stopped. Up there, Michigan and Ohio, all that up there. That shit came to a stop when they played.
Yeah.
Okay. Like I said, the only difference was it didn't carry national implications.
Right.
When Miami played Florida State in the 80s and 90s, it carried national implications because they were always ranked very high.
Right.
And usually one of those two teams would go on to win a national title or at least compete for one.
Right.
There was one year where all three of them were in the top 5, and I don't think we've ever seen that since. Miami was 1. I think Florida State was 2 and Florida was 5.
Right.
Jeb Bush was the governor of Florida. They had a hat.
Oh, yeah. I remember that.
3 bills on it. And I was like, whoever got that hat need to hold on to that because that's going to be worth some money because we may not ever see that again where those 3 schools are in the top 5.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That was crazy to have all 3 Florida schools in the top 5 of the country. And that served notice to everybody else. And I think that was the beginning of other schools really coming down to recruit.
But hey,
in Florida,
I told you this last night. What you think that lineman that just signed to Ohio State thought after watching that dominant performance Miami put on them last night?
I don't even know if I want him or not. I don't know because the kid was Miami all the way up into the last 10 minutes.
Yeah.
The last 10 minutes. You mean to tell me in the last 10 minutes? The same with Cooper. When he went, and that explains why 3 of Texas's running backs are going in the portal. They probably told them boys, y'all be best to go in the portal because we got this dude coming from Florida he gonna be starting. Talking about Cooper.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. These schools throwing that money around, and they threw that. I mean, this kid was all Miami, and then all of a sudden, at the last possible minute, you flip to Ohio State, and the look on his parents' faces, I'm like, it wasn't about the money.
Hey, the look on his parents' face, they were sick.
It made them look bad.
Yeah.
It made them look bad. Well, the kid got a right to change his mind. You're right. People do have a right to change their mind. But having said that, the way he did it, it could say a lot about how he was brought up and raised, and it might have been against what his parents raised him to be.
Who is Maine out there? Is that the guy that just committed out there? Go, Jay. Put it in chat. Let me know.
I think that's what we're talking about.
Yeah.
The defensive end that was the #1 recruit in the 26 class.
Okay.
I think that's what we're talking about. I think that's him. So anyway, man, we all know it was the bag.
Right. And like I said, we ain't never pocket watching on this.
No, I ain't no pocket watch.
Yeah. So we want you to get your money.
I'm not stupid either, man. We knew Texas came with the bag with Cooper. We knew Syracuse came with the bag to get the boy from Northwestern to go up there. Why the hell you want to go up there and play?
Oh, he said Jermaine #7. Okay, got you.
Who?
#7, Jermaine for Ohio State.
That's his little cousin?
Yep.
Oh, okay. So we all know it was the bag. Of course, it's same with Miami. I ain't letting Miami off the hook. Beck came to Miami because of the bag.
Right.
Because everything fit right for him. So, it is what it is, man. It's the name of the game now. Until they have some regulations to get control of this NIL.
Oh, it's coming.
It's coming. Right now, they're trying to control the transfer portal. That's why they only got one more
coming.
chance to do it.
And a lot of this stuff that's going on, I'm just going to say it right now, is that not talking about the teams that's in the college football playoffs, it's the teams that's in bowl games, that it's NIL money being paid to these players, and y'all still sitting out these bowl games.
Yeah.
And so
and shout out to all
Yeah.
Shout out to all the teams that participated in the bowl.
Yeah, man, I respect Pavia and these guys, man, going out there playing. You
I
know
ain't
what I'm
got no
saying?
respect for Notre Dame because they cried
Yeah.
like some hoes and they ain't want to play, and they tell me it was a team, a group
There
decision.
wasn't no damn team group
I
decision.
said, man, I ain't trying to hear that bullshit.
So you try to tell me it's my last year playing. I might not even make it to the pros, but I'm like, yeah, coach, I don't want to play.
I don't want to
You
play
know,
with Buckeye,
like,
man. Out of here, man.
yeah,
That decision came from higher up in Notre Dame because they was feelings. And okay, you and your feelings talking shit on Miami when you should have been mad at, instead of at Miami, you should have been mad at the cable sports network, the committee, and you should have went after Alabama, because if anybody really didn't belong in it, it was them.
Hey, I told you this last night, E. What happens if Bama win, Miami win? It's setting the stage up to make the committee look right.
Yep, you're right. You're right. You're right. They could. That's the. I didn't think about that too much because I was so focused on Oregon playing Indiana again, and then Miami playing Oregon for the Natty, because it was set up. You know, first Miami would play Georgia. That's a great. I seen Beck smiling ear to ear. He didn't even say.
Yeah, he didn't say.
Like, he ain't gonna say, but he know in his heart they did him wrong down there in Georgia. And
it'd be interesting. I wish we get somebody from Georgia up in here to figure out what's their perspective on Carson Beck. Because you remember when the one Mondo guy pulled up on us, he kept preaching this, that, you know, Beck, you know, we can't trust Beck and stuff. And I'm thinking, like, the man is like 30-something and 5 as a starter. You know, I'm like 36 and 5. I don't know exactly, but yeah, I'm like, man, come on, man, stop it with that. You know, I'm just not understanding that narrative against him. The ultimate goal is to get wins. I don't give a damn if you're putting up 400 yards or you only putting up 150 yards. Give me this. Give me a guy that. Now, what happens in the pros, you have to worry about that later. You know, but right now, do what you got to do. My man said he said he pulling for Miami to win it all. Hey, we up out here. Hey, thanks for the super chat again. Go, Jay, man. Tap in with us again. And we appreciate your support, bro. Yeah, so that's the interesting part. It's just the narrative that Georgia trying to paint around Carson Beck.
Well, like I said, they're not gonna throw mud on Kirby Smart's shoes. If he can be, Carson can be the fall guy. I think Kirby and Mike Bobo deserve a lot of that blame. Oh, he threw a pick. I think Kirby and Mike Bobo deserve a lot of that blame for why the offense was so stagnant for Georgia last year. Okay.
Right.
They had 2 or 3 offensive linemen hurt. Their running game was nothing like it was in 23.
True.
And you didn't have Lad McConkey and Brock Bowers anymore. The receivers you had.
You lost 2 studs.
You lost 2 studs, and the guys you had behind them were dropping passes. Oh boy, that left Miami to go to Georgia. The other dude from East St. Louis that left Mizzou to go to Georgia. And the other guy, they was dropping balls. Carson Beck hitting them right in the hands to get a first down, and they dropping them.
You're right.
They led the nation in drops. So, of course, the kid going to press.
Yeah.
Sure, he's going to press some. So, when they put all the blame in Carson Beck's feet, just like Ohio State blamed Kyle McCord for everything when they lost to Michigan. So, I don't care who it is. I don't really think it matters who Miami plays.
Who y'all think out there in the chat? Put it in the chat. Would you rather match or would you rather see Ole Miss or the Bulldogs? Put it in chat. Let us know.
I don't think it's going to matter. I think these boys are clicking right now, and the offense is clicking, and that line is blocking, and yes, the competition has gotten stiffer.
Yeah.
Miami might not put up 30-plus points on a Georgia or an Oregon like they did against Virginia Tech or Pitt. Okay? But having said that, Pitt and Virginia Tech aren't on the same level with Ohio State and Texas A&M and Georgia. And the teams in the playoffs, now you got good on good now.
Yeah.
Great on great.
Yeah.
Okay.
Everybody left physical.
Everybody left
now.
that's playing right now, except for maybe, like I said, Texas is pretty hot. I think if they would have gotten this, they might have made some noise. BYU, no. Vanderbilt, maybe, but I was surprised. Iowa never ceases to amaze me. Every year, Iowa got good defense.
Yeah.
If they ever get some O together, Iowa's going to be dangerous in the Big Ten.
Right.
So
somebody said they want Georgia because they live in Atlanta. I hear you, bro.
I hear you. I mean, I want to see Georgia just so Carson can exact his get back. I remember I told you last night, the game I want to see him have if he has to have a really good where it's all about him,
right?
I'd rather it be against Georgia,
right?
Because if he puts the team on his back and say ride me on this one,
oh man,
he goes out there and he go out there and slang that rock and have 3-4 touchdowns, then he'll up his draft status and he might just quiet all the naysayers for good. Because I think when it comes down to if they make it to the Natty game, it's going to take a complete effort from everybody to win that game.
He said, Biggie, this is what the CFP didn't want to happen. UM wrecking their plans.
Well, that's a double-edged sword because, like my man said about Ohio State fan base, the old fan base, they want to beat Michigan. The newer fans, they want to win the whole thing.
Right.
I think it's the same in the TV world. The old guard that hates Miami for what they did in the 80s and 90s, you got new people in there.
Right.
And they understand money and analytics.
Right.
And they understand viewerships and they know that they make more money with more eyeballs on the TV. And that every year, Alabama, Clemson thing got old really quick. Every year, the SEC thing really got old really after so long. It worked for a while for ESPN, but now people are sick of it.
Yeah.
People are sick of this conference shit. And people want to see something different. And when the pundits are telling you that, hey, college football is better when Miami is winning versus Miami being a nobody, it worked for about 15 years where the SEC was dominant and you didn't hear, because you heard about Miami in the 80s. You heard about Miami in the 90s. You heard about Miami into the 2000s up till about 05. And then after that, that was the end of it.
Right.
And it became all about LSU, all about Alabama, every year Alabama. And then Dabo, credit to Dabo Sweeney. It took him some years to build Clemson up. Hey, they go to 4 Natty championship games and win 2 of them. They win 9 ACC titles in a row. I'm not going to take nothing away from Clemson. Dabo did what he had to do.
Yeah.
Now Dabo's stubbornness with the transfer portal it kind of set him back a little bit.
A little bit. He in trouble next year, dog.
Yeah, he's in trouble because they lost his bowl game. And I'm like, he's going to have to get some players. And it's not about Clemson not having no money. I think they got money. They got money.
It's just I want to do it my way.
He's the opposite of Norvell.
Right, yeah.
He was the opposite of Mike Norvell. Mike Norvell put all his chips in the transfer portal basket, and it worked for him until the quarterback got hurt and he was out. Travis Jordan.
Yeah, I believe, yeah.
Florida State would have won a national championship 2 years ago. No question.
Yeah, that defense.
No question. There was nobody that was going to beat that team. They had 5-star transfers everywhere, especially on the defense. Dabo's the opposite. He did not want, he believes in development of high school players. It worked for him.
Right.
But in the age of the portal, it's not fast enough. It takes some years. Look, it took Cristobal
4 years
to get here.
But one thing that we did learn, though,
when he got to Miami, aside from a few people in that roster, oh boy, they sucked.
Yeah,
they sucked. A lot of now, nothing against Deion. You know, when Deion came into Colorado, he came in with a lot of fanfare. he came in with the big speech when he had the whole team, and he basically told most of them, y'all might as well pack it in and split because I'm coming with my Louis luggage.
That was the wrong message.
Really like that.
Yeah,
but
that was the wrong message.
That was his style.
Right.
Mario didn't do that. Mario had the same attitude. I'm coming in from Eugene, Oregon. Over half of you dudes ain't going to be on my team.
Right.
And a lot of them, like Nestor Silvera, and a lot of them just transferred on their own. They didn't have to be. They already knew this guy ain't playing. He ain't going to put up with the shit that Diaz did. No more turnover chain and dancing on the sideline. All
that extra stuff. Yeah.
All this individualism and I'm going to play my favorites. And no, that's out. And that's why it took him 4 years. Look at all the guys on this Miami team.
Right.
They're juniors now and seniors. These are all Mario's dudes. The only dudes that were left over from Manny Diaz was Restrepo, Jacoby George, Cam Kinchins. Yeah. There was a few guys left over, very, very few skilled guys left from Manny Diaz. The rest of them, they transferred.
Yeah. Right.
So I think that's the deal with slowed up Dabo. If you're going to go strictly with recruits, you have to sprinkle in some transfer portal people to pull it together. Because if you're just going to go off nothing but your high school recruits and say, okay, I'm going to build this class, and then next one, I'm going to build this class, it's going to take a couple, 2-3 years to gel this classes together, to put it all together to make
on top of that. If you build them up, and then somebody throws a bag at him and he leaves, because that's what they doing now.
Right.
Now you set back because you invested in them.
That's why I like what Mario is. Mario has all his stars. Look at all the stars on this team aside from Keontae Scott. Yes, he had transferred. Yep. But look at Pringle, freshman. Malachi, freshman. Fletcher from Miami.
Right.
Bain from Miami. All your 90% of your star players. Oh wow, he from Miami. They from Miami, and a lot of them they were all high school guys that Mario recruited. Mario stole Fletcher from Ohio State. He recruited Bain. He recruited Maui Noga. He recruited the Pancake Honcho. All these dudes he recruited. So here we are, and I think Dabo realizes now. This ain't gonna be the end for Clemson, by no means.
Right.
And for all the Ohio State people that want to knock the ACC, like I told this clown on Instagram, I'll take the middle of the pack ACC teams over the middle of the pack Big Ten teams.
Right.
Right now, I'll take a Pitt. I'll take even Clemson, Virginia. I'll take them over Purdue and Minnesota and Northwestern and Rutgers and Penn State,
Wisconsin
and Nebraska, all the teams Ohio State beat up on. I'm going to take Pitt over them. I'm going to take Clemson over them. Even as I'm going to take Virginia over them. I may even take Duke over them.
Hey.
I might be a hard lean toward Wake Forest. This crap about the ACC need to stop, man.
And the funny part is that I've been reading that now it's saying Ohio State, I'm talking about from their fan base, saying that they didn't play anybody. But I'm like, but that wasn't the narrative coming in. I always give respect where respect due. You could say any team in the college football championship, technically in their conference, didn't play anybody because there's only so many good teams you could play in your conference. You know what I'm saying? You might play one or two. That's why it's important to have a great non-conference schedule, like the schedule of Notre Dame or even Ohio State schedule in Texas or whatever. That it's great to have those in there. So to say that they was weak, nah. I mean, when you look at the game, Ohio State passed the eye test. Miami was just better. That's where they don't want to give Miami the credit that's due to them. Ohio State, that team will beat a lot of the teams in the college football playoffs. Miami is just better than them at this point in time. So and that's the way I look at it when I judge Miami, is that when Miami beating teams now this year, because you heard it about Notre Dame, you heard it about Texas A&M, You're hearing about Ohio State. It's a reason why those 3 games right there, I just named, underdogs in every game. Underdogs.
They were underdogs in Notre Dame, underdogs at A&M and Ohio State. And that's 6 teams now. That's 6 ranked opponents that Miami done beat. They 6-0 against ranked teams this year since they make a big. So I can't help again but to say losing those games, even though I really felt like the officiating in those Louisville game and the SMU game was atrocious.
Yeah,
losing those games was a really good wake up for Miami. Yeah. It was a way for them to have to reset and reevaluate. And I like what Mario said. After they lost to SMU, they went back, the whole team, coaching staff, they went and put on the video of all their games with no sound. Just watch. Yeah. Especially the Louisville game and the SMU game. Just watch and see what don't you like? What happened from, beating up on Notre Dame, tough game.
Tough.
Going into a long weather delay, damn near 2 hours with South Florida. And I was kind of worried in that game. I'm like, Byron Brown, he a runner. Yeah. They got some athletes on that South Florida team. And to come out after that long layoff and just really beat the crap out of them, I was like, okay, that was week 3, remember?
Yeah.
I said, okay, this team is showing me something. Because I was kind of like, okay, this weather delay, they might come out flat. And I said, this ain't the team you want to come out flat against. They did just beat Florida in the swamp.
Yeah, right.
Then to come out and beat Florida in the rain. Florida was desperate. They just lost a game to LSU that they could have won. Now, this is going back early in the season. But still, they didn't lay down. They won that game. And then to go to Tallahassee and beat them. That was a wake-up call. Those losses was a wake-up call, and I'm glad they happened because sometimes that got to turn you around. I mean, I'm sure one day Miami will get back to that where they roll everybody like they did in 01 and 02.
Yeah. I mean, they
after the Washington loss.
Putting together the talent. So it's crazy. I'm looking at the rushing yards. Miami had over 150 yards rushing. You had Fletcher had 19 carries, 90 yards. 90. Marty Brown had 5 carries, 26 yards, big yards too. Beck had 23 yards. Pringle had 12, and Malachi had 4.
Hey, see how you spread that around?
Yeah.
And they was ready for that. They was ready for that toss play to Malachi like that.
Yeah.
Ohio State is well coached, and they got some dudes. I take any of them dudes on this team, and it wouldn't be a letdown for Miami.
Right. On top of that, in playoff football, we discussed this, all the trickery out the window. Yep. Mario knows this. You have to line up and impose your will in the playoffs. That's this playoff football.
I think special teams was big.
Oh man!
Now you seen what Soul called me arguing with me.
Yeah.
About the ref taking his hat off on the punt where Miami pinned him at the 2-yard line.
I still didn't see that, but did you see it?
When the ref takes his hat off, that means a player went out of bounds.
Right.
On the offense. Or not, I should say any player that go out of bounds, his hat come off. He thought that since the Miami player got shoved out on that punt and he came back in and he was the first one to catch the punt, and before he fell over in the end zone, he threw it back. So were they down to that like the 1.5 or whatever? He thought that was illegal. And that's why I said, dude, if that would have been illegal, they would have been all over that.
No, he just got to establish himself in the field of play. If he forced out, he got to establish himself back in.
On offense, you cannot be the first person to touch the ball if you go out of bounds.
That's offense.
That's offense. That's
right.
Not special teams.
Right, yeah.
That's why I tried to explain to him. I said, yes, going back and looking at it, he did take his hat off. He took his hat off because the player went out of bounds. Anytime a player go out of bounds, that side judge take his hat off and throw it on the ground.
Right.
I looked that up.
Yeah.
Then he threw out the other flag. It's not a yellow flag. It's a different color flag. I don't know if it's black or blue or whatever. That shows that where the ball was down at.
Right.
So.
I mean, if the player continues to run down the sideline, then it's a penalty. But if he
Special
tries
teams
to
is
get back
big.
in, then he established himself. Now we're talking about the gunners on the outside for people that
Right,
don't know
you're a
on the
gunner.
shots.
So just because they forced the gunner out of bounds don't mean you can't come back in and touch the ball.
Right. Right.
So shout out to the special teams, man. That was great special teams. To the field goal kicker for making that long field goal, because you see what Ohio State field goal kicker did.
Yeah.
He missed
they
that field goal.
They was on them. And looking at some of the defensive stats, you had Torrey, he had 6 tackles, 1 assist. Mesidor had 5 tackles. The Saint, 5 tackles. Jacoby, 4 tackles, 3 assists. Man, beasting out there. O'Connor had 3 tackles. Hey, they D-backs was hitting, man. Keontae had 3 tackles and an interception.
Pick 6.
Yep. OJ Federic had 3 tackles. Forger had 3 tackles. Man, I mean, you going down the line.
I'm wondering about OJ when he got hurt, and Moten. I haven't heard anything today on the injury report.
Yeah, I haven't heard anything. Not concrete where I would come out here and repeat
it. I haven't heard anything concrete. So they got time to rest. They don't play for a week.
And shout out to Connor Davis, man, coming back after that rough day at Texas A&M, drilling that 49-yarder.
Yes.
Man, look, that's big, dog. That was some big 3 points, man.
Absolutely. So all we can hope for is good weather next week.
That was big out because he had me a little shaky there.
I wasn't worried about him, bro, because I consider the weather.
Yeah.
He ain't proved me wrong all year.
Right. Hey, it says sometimes you got to tip your hat to the other team. Miami was better that night. Bottom line, to be the man, you got to beat the man, and Miami did. Hey, we kind of said that. Look, before I read Gio Kane's comment, I said this to Kevin. I said, look, and you guys know him as Touchdown Jesus on here, Notre Dame fan.
Good weather next week in Glendale, Arizona.
I said, this would probably be, if Miami goes on and runs this table, one of the most impressive college football runs since the tournament been established. Just think of who they would have beat along the way. If they turn around, if they beat A&M, you turn around and beat Notre Dame, then and I say if, Georgia wins, they're higher seed, you beat Georgia, and then whoever you beat in the championship game, that run right there for being a 10 seed would be.
They already said it would be probably considered the greatest gauntlet in college football history to get to a national championship, because you've gone through, like you said, A&M, Ohio State, say Georgia, say Oregon, and then
you beat Notre Dame early in the year.
Beat Notre Dame first game of the year.
Yeah, so I mean that's crazy.
I remember when you played South Florida. Granted, it was only the 3rd game of the year. They were ranked.
Yeah, Florida was ranked.
Yeah, we left 6 points off the board with the fumble. Either 3 or 7 when Mark fumbled that ball. At 3 at the minimum.
Yeah.
So Miami left probably 10 points on the field last night. I'd say 10.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't see.
They said we left 6 points on the board with the fumble. Then we got on the roll. 30 get a sack and then lost on a reverse. If Malachi, I don't know why we tried that. Yeah.
I mean, I'm not going to sit here and nitpick Shannon Dawson. I knew he was trying certain things just to see where they were at, to see how they line up. Again, I'm going to give Ohio State credit as much as I can't stand them people. They got some dudes, and they're very well coached. And that defense, I consider all day and say, well, yeah, they didn't really play anybody. But when they did play some good teams, they didn't really score on them. Texas only scored 7.
Yeah.
Indiana only scored 13 on them.
Yeah.
You take away the pick 6 from Miami, what's the score? 17-14.
Right.
Okay. I would say Miami left 3, maybe 10 points out there offensively.
Yeah,
But
they fumbled in the red zone, fumble driving or whatever.
I'm fine with that, man,
Yeah,
because a little bit of everybody contributed to this win. Offense, defense, special
special
teams.
team. 3 phases of the
If I
game.
want an offensive breakout for Carson Beck, let it be next week
Right.
against his old team. I mean, if he goes and throws 2 or 3 touchdowns with no picks against his defense, old team, I'm cool with that.
Right. Now we was just saying, just mentally when we talking about Davis coming off that rough day in Texas A&M, because that can get in your psyche, even if it was win. We know he been money all year, but boy, you had a rough day because of the win, and you come back and drill that 49-yarder in that pressure situation. That's money right
That
there.
was big. That was big because we needed them points.
Yeah, needed it.
They
Big
just
time.
scored. Remember, they just scored to make it 14-7. So to come back and at least get a field goal and make it 17-7, it was a response to what they did. Yeah, you want the 7, sure, we want the 7, but like you said, the sack and all that, fine.
Right.
If I'm confident with my field goal kicker that he gonna give me the 3.
What are you saying? He said, wait. Tennessee, Oregon, Texas, Notre Dame, Buckeyes last year. It's a good run.
That's a good run.
I'm not taking anything away from that.
I'm not gonna take nothing away from that. Ohio State got hot at the right time last year, just like Miami doing this year. I ain't gonna take nothing away from
But the
Ohio
Buckeyes
State.
wasn't the 10th seed last year, were they?
Yeah, I don't know if they was the 10th seed. No.
What seed was the Buckeyes last year?
What seed were they last year? I'm not taking nothing away from Ohio
Yeah,
State.
I mean, that's a good run.
That's a great run.
Yeah.
And they were loaded last year.
Yeah, Buckeyes had that team last year was
last
yeah,
year.
that's what I'm saying. They were stacked last year, boy.
They was
that's true. Yeah.
The only reason why they lost to Michigan is because Michigan could match them in the paint.
Yeah.
They went hard in the paint too.
Yeah.
Otherwise, Ohio State had a squad last year.
Yeah. I said they wasn't as they was physical this year, but that team last year was a whole different.
I mean, I'm looking at this Hard Rock Stadium. They show the aerial view, bro. I was down there when it was Sun Life. Man, that was the best thing they could have did was put that cover around.
Carson Beck was the best $4 million spend. They already got that money back just in the first round. Yeah, you're right about that.
They got their money back.
Yeah, shoot.
It's a rumor if they paid them the $4 million, but if they did, okay, they got their money back. They got their money back.
Yeah, it says that football leaving points on the board, but we can fix that. That's just what I'm saying. Yeah, it was just a physical game. And
yeah, it's physical. I mean, that's why I said I'm not upset about leaving points on the board. You're not gonna get perfection. I look at the 0-1 team. I go back and watch the games. I said, damn, man. They played Penn State the first game of the year. See, people got amnesia. They went up to Penn State, Happy Valley. That place, they redid the stadium. It was 100-some thousand people there. And within 10 minutes, it was quiet.
Right.
And they kicked some field goals, dog. Even that team made mistakes in the red zone and left points on the board. Instead of getting 7, they settled for 3.
Right.
It happened a lot that year and the next year. So it's every team go through that. You're not
every team.
You are not going to get a team that's just money every time with a machine. Damn, they stopped them.
Yeah, every time. I says, what's going on, Martin? He says, Happy New Year. Wesley knocking over Bo Jackson and Saka saying, oh, man, he ran his ass over. I know exactly what play. Exemplifies the physicality of Miami.
That's absolutely right, Mr. Martin.
Yeah,
man. So right, dog. He
blew him up
right through that dude.
Yeah, he was looking like, hey, bro.
Julian's saying he got hit differently than he did against Indiana. He got body slammed by Mesidor.
Man, they was bringing some. They was bringing some. They was bringing some pain on him. You agree with this right here? Say Clemson is done, for they would never rise again. SMU and Stanford has far more money than they will ever fathom. Rest in peace to Clemson. I hope they remember you. Oh man,
that's a deep thing to say. I'm not going to say.
I would say this: if Dabo don't turn around this year, he might pack his bags up and leave.
I'll tell you what. It depends on what the board does with Bama and how Alabama next year goes, because I've been saying this for years. If Dabo leaves Clemson, he's going back to his alma mater. And his alma mater is Alabama. They won a national championship over Miami in 1993. He was on that team. He played tight end on that team for Gene Stallings.
Right.
So he's going to have another year. I'm not going to say Clemson is done.
No.
Because Clemson got good coaches. Now, he's lost good coaches. He lost Brent Venables to go to Oklahoma. That was a big loss.
Right.
Because Clemson was known for that defense. Even though they had old gay boy Christian Wilkerson on the team at defensive tackle, they had a squad that year when Goldilocks was the quarterback, and they won a natty, but they had a defense. They had some studs on defense. Well, when Brent Venables left to go be the head coach at Oklahoma, it was the same with Nick Saban. Nick Saban had elite A1 coaches.
Yeah. You got to have it.
The head coach is just the CEO.
Right.
Nine times out of 10, he don't call the plays. He's the supervisor, but he has subordinates.
Right.
My assistant supervisors are going to manage my people, but the buck stops with me. Same in football. You got a head coach, 2 coordinators, and a bunch of assistant coaches. So guess what?
You got to have guys that develop. You got to have guys that can motivate. Right. And the coach can only do so much.
Dabo lost a lot of assistants, man. He lost an offensive coordinator. He lost his defensive coordinator.
One guy that's the whole head coach over at Oklahoma. When he was AD coordinator. Yeah.
I mean, he lost some coordinators. So yeah, it's about Dabo need to get some NIL. Look at that, Texas Tech. Come on, they need to get some NIL. They got the money. They need to get the recruits. And they need to keep recruiting high school and develop and get the coaches.
Right. He says ass kicking the butt nuts. The butt nuts got cracked by Miami bat. He says, congratulations, bigger than E and Hamp. Moving on to the next round. To the next. Yep, next.
You're right. Just to the next.
Right on, Rodney. Hey, look.
Appreciate it.
We've been saying the same thing, man. Before I read this next one, we've been saying the same thing about trying to convince people, not even so much convince, because like I said, a lot of people just don't watch a lot of Hurricane football. And they were caught up in the sauce about the schedule. Even when I evaluate teams from other conferences and stuff, sometimes I don't get caught up in it. You really have to sit down and watch how they play. If they out there dominating teams, it's different if you just barely beating teams. Like when I look at, for example, Virginia is a good team, but they don't physically just dominate you like you see a Miami or Ohio State or a Georgia. You know what I'm saying? So that's why it doesn't matter what conference you play in. You can look at certain teams and tell if they're physically dominating other teams,
I'm not a Virginia fan, but shout out to the Virginia Cavaliers. They did.
Yes.
They beat our Missouri Tigers for that bowl win.
Yes.
So I mean, it just goes to show, man. I put Virginia up against anybody in the Big Ten.
Right.
I put Virginia up against anybody in the SEC, even the Georgia Alabama's. I don't think this ain't 10 years ago. This ain't 10 years ago. That ACC, no, it was Clemson, Florida State, and then everybody else. Miami was kind of teetering near the surface, but it was everybody else.
Right.
Today, teams have gotten better. Narduzzi puts a decent team out there for Pitt.
Yeah.
The brother at Virginia, he turned them around. Virginia gonna be a force. They're gonna be a force. Don't think they're not gonna get some recruits. Yeah. They first 11 or 12 win season.
No, I'm just saying, just when I look at them this year.
You think Virginia not going to use that to steal recruits from Virginia Tech and steal recruits from North Carolina and that part of the country?
Yeah.
They might even come down to Florida to see what they can do if they get 1 or 2 dudes from out of Florida or out of Texas and Georgia. Virginia, that's a team to watch in the future with the ACC.
Yeah.
The Virginia Cavaliers.
I think Manny he almost got Duke because Mensa coming back.
Shit, he got Duke on the right track.
Yeah,
shoot, man.
Look, it says OSU was weaker this year than last year. We all agree. Big Ten has
I would
fewer
say
athletes.
when you say weaker,
Oh, no, that's loud.
when you say weaker, my bad.
That's all right.
When you say weaker, I wouldn't so much to say weaker. The personnel was different.
Yeah.
They were weaker on the O line. I think on the defense, they was just as stout as last.
Right.
They lost 8 dudes last year on defense, and they brought some hitters back.
Yeah.
They brought some hitters back. Their Achilles heel is their run defense, their O-line, and all they really got. And I have to agree with that. Ohio State fans may not like that. If you take Jeremiah Smith off that team, they're a regular Big Ten team.
Yeah, I would say, yeah. Hey,
They're average. Even with that defense, they still in the upper echelon of the Big Ten, but they scrapping now.
You're right.
Without Jeremiah Smith, they really scrapping with Illinois.
Yeah.
They really scrapping with Penn State. They didn't even play Iowa. I wish they would have played Iowa, just to see what,
Right. It's as Clemson is done if Mario doesn't change his stance on the NI portal. Hey, I think we all agree there. He gonna have to get with the times. One thing about the times, hey, it don't stop for nobody. So if you don't try to conform, you get left behind. So that is what it is. All that. It's in facts we match Indiana in sacks, but we had Sand rattled all night, but he could throw for some yards. Sand. Like I said, that defense was on him all night. Eric and I watched it live. Well, we watched it here, and I could tell you, man, those boys was even when they wasn't getting there because they was getting held. But I digress. They just look impressive.
Look at this boring.
And they got away. Hold on, they got away from the quick game because after Keontae made that pick six, they was worried about the quick game. I think Miami knew they were coming in going to try to execute a quick game.
So what they did, kudos to Ohio State. They did.
Right.
They went to the power running game.
Right.
And Miami kind of went to a simple cover 2 type stand back defense in the third quarter. And when Ohio State started playing 2 and 3 tight ends and running the ball and pulling guards and pulling tackles and running,
right,
they started getting some nice runs up the middle, and it opened things up for the play action pass, which kind of took the D-line out of the picture because Miami went relaxed a little bit on defense.
Right.
I think when Heatherman adjusted to going back and being aggressive on defense again, then you saw what happened. I got a good friend of mine, man. We used to work together in the airline business. He lived in Georgia. He just sent me his email. So I'm gonna give you his email. So when we do go live again next week before the game, he want to tap in like we had tapping on with Notre Dame.
Okay.
He a Georgia. He a dog. He a big because he's from Georgia.
Got him on lock. Tell him to send it to me.
Yeah, I got his email. I'll send it to you. So hopefully Georgia can do what they need to do tonight to make that happen. But
he said, I know people love Pringle, but these are the playoffs. Mark must be kept in for boy. Hey, Mark.
You know what? You're right.
What I say during the game, I said, damn, they need to get Pringle out because he missed the block.
He missed one block, which got Beck sacked, and another block, he just got fucking trucked.
Yeah, I said the same.
Dude came in. Beck stepped to the right, but dude came in and just blah.
Yeah, I said, man.
Pringle 5'9", 5'10".
I said, hey, Martin. I said, hey, I looked over at E. I said, hey, man, they got to get Fletcher back in.
You see, I think Fletcher got a dinger.
Yeah, I think something happened. He had to sit out.
That's why Brown came in the game.
Yeah,
because I seen Fletcher walk out the game, and that motherfucker mouthpiece was upside down, and I said to myself,
hey, look, Ohio State was hidden, dog.
It was hidden, dog.
It was hidden, man.
Fletcher hard.
Yeah.
He came out the game, and that's when Brown came in and finished the game. So hopefully he's okay. Malachi got popped. He had to go in the tent. Thank God it wasn't a concussion type deal, but he got popped because you seen him laying there.
Right.
Old boy Downs, that motherfucker, boy. I'll take him on my team. I put him in the Miami uniform. He come hit for me.
Right.
They got Ohio State got some hitters, boy. They was out there hitting. This ain't Pitt. This ain't Syracuse. This ain't, NC State. This playoff time. This is different football now.
Yeah, some dogs out there, man.
This best on best now.
Right. So it said when we win next round, we the champs. Ain't nobody beating us at the Rock that year. I'm finna say.
Gio Kane, I feel the same way, but I ain't gonna feel happy until the final 0 in the fourth quarter and Miami is up. I don't give a damn if it's fucking 3-0. Like Shannon Dawson says, it's my job to have one more point than you.
Yeah.
I don't care what the score is. I don't care as long as I get that dub. I don't care if it's 2-0 on the safety. It don't matter to me. The win is what counts.
I wonder if you agree with this comment because I'm trying to, I don't know. It was talking about Ohio State. It says Ohio State is not built like a traditional Big Ten team. They were Southern schools made the mistake when they played us.
No, he's right. They're not built like traditional Big Ten teams because Ohio State gets the cream of the crop from that part of the country.
Mm.
Purdue's and Minnesota's and Wisconsin made a run for a minute, but they was coming down here to St. Louis to get kids.
A lot of kids from St. Louis.
They was tapped in with Hazelwood East hard.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Ohio State is known to get the best talent out of Ohio, Indiana, Pennsylvania, Michigan, and New York, and probably Maryland. That whole part of the country, it hasn't been to the last probably 20 years plus that they've been going down to Florida, especially after, Heartline was and in the South to get guys because they realize, okay, the South got some killers. Texas got some killers. Miami, South Florida been had them. Ohio State can stranglehold everybody in that upper eastern part of the country and get all their talent.
Right.
They've always been known to have great coaching. They've always been known to have great coaching. A lot of that has to be said about Ohio State. They've got the coaches.
Now, what did it say here before we wrap this up? It says, I tried to send a kid from Zimbabwe rugby player 6'5" and 275 pounds, but I think we have to send him to FIU to learn the game to prove himself. Damn, 6'5", 275. What position he play, Mark? That's a big kid there.
He sound like a D tackle.
Yeah, he's a big boy there.
Yeah. 6'5", 275. That's a little on the light end to be an offensive lineman unless you're a center. Even a center, that's a little on the light side.
Yeah, that's a big boy there. Okay, what else we got here? Before we wrap this on up and enjoy some football. He said,
you ain't going to enjoy this game. This is some boring bullshit. It's 6-0 Oregon.
6-0. Well, hey, look.
It's almost halftime, bro.
Hey, look. It's going to be, this is the thing, though, with these games. They're going to be, it's so much pressure. All the trickery, all the throwing the ball around the field, it just doesn't work like that in the playoffs. It just, for some reason, it's just like that. Things get a little tight. Mistakes are amplified. If you want to sling it, boy, you're gonna find yourself, man, it says how sweet it is. Korma loves to take her time, but 23 years later, Miami could put the flag out of 03 to bed. Rest in peace. We dethroned the Buckeyes from back-to-back dynasty status. We deserve a natty. All right.
I give Texas Tech credit. They front fours, either they really good or Oregon ain't that hot on the O-line.
Man, Oregon been a little shaky all year.
I didn't think they was all that way back when they played Penn State.
Yeah.
I really don't. I think we got the most dominant team, D.
He said Franklin I do too, will make Virginia Tech tough.
I forgot all about it.
Yeah, I forgot that. Yeah, Franklin.
There's your banger right there.
I like Franklin going over there.
They're gonna be banging for recruits, them two.
Yeah.
Them two teams might be some thorns in Miami's side in the future.
Right, big time.
But that's what we want. I want to see Florida State get back right.
Right. What up, Double B?
What up, bro? I want to see Florida State get back right.
Right.
I do. I want to see Florida State get back right because it ain't a rivalry if we beating their ass every time. You know, I want to see them get back right.
Yeah, it's crazy. It says NIL made Partry at the top of the college football, no longer just paying players and getting away with it now. Miami don't have to worry about going on probation. That's for damn sure.
We ain't got to worry about probation. It's just
yeah, we ain't got to worry about that. He's an Isaac Brown portal. Isaac Brown in the portal.
Isaac Brown.
That's what we got.
Who was that?
I don't know. Let's see.
Isaac Brown.
We'll come back to it. Let's see.
Hey, that's sloppy play right here, man. What's going on with them? No.
Say Miami kicked Ohio State. Boy, y'all something else out there.
Listen,
man.
y'all, all I can tell my go on Instagram, Facebook, all these different CBS and ESPN and DraftKings pages, all them Ohio State fans. I kept receipts.
Right. Me too.
I kept so many receipts. It's a clown on Instagram. I done called him all kind of dummies. I showed them to you.
Yeah. Hey, I got you, Double B, out there, man. Hey, I'll tap in with you sometimes, send you an email, man, when you get up next, dog.
This fool here, man. He just was F Miami and all this and that. And okay. So yeah. What's this clown name? I kept the clown. But anyway, everybody just go check on the Ohio State people. Because our guy that came on here with us, he's a nice man, he's humble. But a lot of these in the fan base, they just they on some dumminess.
Right. He said we didn't stun nobody. We knew they didn't see anything like us. Vega got us wrong. Yeah, I agree there. I think people that was inside the know knew well, I can't speak for other people. Let me frame it like this. Watched a lot of football, played a lot of football. And Eric and I talked about this I think at the beginning of the year. I always said this when it comes to football. When you build the trenches, you can make 4 stars look like 5 stars. Talking about your skill players, you can make 3 stars look like 4 stars. Because if they blowing damn holes like that, you going to get your chances. If you can stay protected, you're going to get your chances. So when I just looked at how physical that line was and how it was hearing stuff come out of spring camp and looked at it last year, how they protected Cam, I said, they're going to be a problem if they can put it all together, if they could play some defense and put it all together. So that's where I thought. I'm not saying they stunned anybody either. I just always think about Miami nationally. And when you think of nationally, we have to be honest that they wasn't getting the respect that they deserve. That's why I like to put it out there like that, because if you in a bubble, I would say we all in the Miami bubble, we tend to don't really look outside at other teams with the same deference. So in saying that, that's why I was trying to tell people that wasn't in our bubble, hey, man, this team is for real. Just all you got to do is turn on the film and look.
Just turn on the film. That's all you got to do is look at it. Turn on the film. That's all you got to do is turn on the film, man.
Yeah, turn the film on, and you would just.
I'm feeling more and more confident watching these other. This game here. I'm like, there's no way either one of these teams can beat Miami.
Yeah,
I'm telling you, Dwayne. I'm looking at it. There's no way. No way.
Yeah, I'm telling you, when you
no way. I think Miami got one more hurdle, and it's Georgia, and it's a wrap. And I'm really feeling like I don't even think Georgia gonna be a problem. I really think it's just all they gotta do is handle business the next 2 games, and they're gonna be hoisted number 6. And the way Mario building this team and the way he's recruiting, he's building for the future with all these high school kids he's recruiting in and developing. It's not over. Like I said, next year's team could be even better, at least in the trenches.
Well, yeah, I agree.
With Malachi, he gonna get some portal pieces. He might go for the quarterback. I'm sure they may go after that wide receiver that's transferring out of Auburn. He would be a great addition. Then I'm hearing, I like Nevin Shapiro. I follow Nevin. And Nevin was like, we're gonna try to get Jeremiah home. I'm like, oh, I said, if they pull that shit off.
Man, it'd take a bag and a half to get him back.
But you know what? It might take a bag and a half, but it wouldn't surprise me if somebody came up with a bag and a half to tell Jeremiah, what else you got to prove up there in Ohio State? You won a natty. So come on home and get your last year with us, and then you can go in the draft, because next year going to be his last year.
Yeah. I think if he came, my personal opinion, it really depends on who that quarterback
is. It depends on who the quarterback going to be, because it would be him. It would reunite him with JoJo, his teammate.
Yeah.
They was all dapping it up after the game.
They were all, and that was cool to see.
Yeah,
that was really
he's from
cool
Miami.
to see.
He played high school with a lot of these dudes. He played JFL with a lot of these dudes. So 7-on-7s in the summertime. He from 305 days. That's his home.
They say about $7 million to get him back.
Well, you got to remember, CJ Daniels going pro, Keelan Marion going pro.
Yeah.
You got Joshua Smith. You got JoJo.
Yeah.
And you got Malachi. They're going to get another bona fide big-time receiver.
Right.
The question is who?
Yeah.
Maybe two, because Nye Carr said he's going back in the transfer portal. Dylan Upshaw's still there as for now.
Right.
So I'm looking at the wide receiver depth for Miami. So with you losing C.J. Daniel and Keelan Marion, and the dude from Cincinnati that got hurt, he was a senior too.
Tony, what was his name? Tony Brown?
He might have another year eligibility. I'm not sure, because he got hurt.
I'm going to say he didn't play. Yeah.
He got hurt early in the season. He was nice till he got hurt. So I can definitely see Miami going after maybe another lineman, definitely a D tackle, maybe a linebacker.
He said he don't want Smith back. Hey, look.
Why?
Right. He said he made his choice. Let the kids who don't pick us regret it. No, see, I look at it different.
No regret. He ain't got shit to regret. He left and got a ring his freshman year.
Yeah. And you got to I always look at it honestly. Look, if you Jeremiah, you trying to make it to the league, Tony Brown was his name, right? And and he chose Ohio State. In honesty, they was in a better situation. You this high pick coming out. I don't know. How many
dudes did Brian Hartline put in the NFL? Wide receiver.
High.
In the last few years. Recently, Miami used to be wide receiver U. But in the last 10 years, how many cats that went in the league that wide receiver? Marvin Harrison Jr., Mbuka, it's a couple, 2-3 other dudes that's in the league right now.
Old boy from the Giants, right?
Last name start with an O.
I can't think of it. Somebody put it in chat. I can't think of all of them. I could Google it.
It's like 5 or 6 dudes that Hardline and developed and put in the league. Okay, that's why it was an argument between them and Clemson, who's wide receiver U in the last 10 years.
Right.
So I can't blame Jeremiah for saying I'm going to Ohio State, because they already there. Miami wasn't quite there.
Right. They wasn't there yet. That's the whole thing.
Ohio State, oh my God, it stopped raining in Pasadena. It might be dry. They got squeegees on the field. They trying to push all the water out. Anyway, I can't blame Jeremiah. Plus, he did something we all would have did.
Right.
Who you work for? Now, you mean to tell me if your competitor offered you a bag to leave them and come to them, you wouldn't go?
Right, right.
Or you coming? You a college graduate looking for a job, or even you ain't got big. You just looking for a job, and you didn't apply at 3 different airlines, and American Airlines offering you this to come work for them, but United Airlines is offering you this. But my home is in Dallas with American. Well, fuck that. I'm going to go take this bag over here with United and move to Denver.
Right.
Because they're offering me more money.
Right.
It's the same thing. Money is the bottom line. Whether it's you working, your daddy was working. What was the most important thing in the family when you was growing up? My daddy working. He making the money. So I can't blame Jeremiah for saying, hey, man, he putting cats in the league first round.
Right.
I'm going there. They offered me a bag I couldn't refuse. Me and my family couldn't say no.
Right.
Kudos to Duke Johnson prior to NIL for saying, I'm shutting down my recruitment. I'm going on to Miami no matter what. That was his personal choice.
Right.
If we would have had NIL back then, who knows where Duke would have went? He may have stayed with Al Golden, or he may have went to USC. We don't know. It wasn't no NIL then. These kids today are not cut like the kids 20 and 25 years ago.
Right.
Okay. If you get a kid that's a gem that wants to stay home no matter what, like a Reuben Bain, and I know people offered him money.
Yeah.
You know they offered, Malachi got offered stupid money. It's people trying to give him money now to flip.
Right.
Okay. So Miami got to match that. I can have all the love in my heart for you. But if you only want to give me a meal, but they want to give me $5,
right?
Hey, if it don't make dollars, it don't make sense.
Yeah, especially in this short window.
It's a short window. So if Nevin or he know people that's willing to offer Jeremiah more money than Ohio State, and if Jeremiah see a situation where Ohio State where they might take a fall,
which some people predicting,
I open the door for that dude. You want to come home? Come on.
You're in line. Say how much would it be willing to take?
At least he not playing with it like the kid that went to Syracuse. He playing with it.
Right. Yeah.
He kind of played with it.
Right.
Going up there with that nigga up there in Syracuse and stay up there.
Right. He said, hell, I'll take him back home. GOK. You
damn right. I'll take him back. Are you serious?
Yeah, he say get that D tackle from Wake Forest and get him and get that line back from Pitt.
Dude, who did they compare him to? Who did they compare Jeremiah?
Who was that?
Jeremiah Smith. They say
they said he was damn.
He like another, what they say?
It's on the tip of my tongue.
Calvin Johnson.
Yeah.
Detroit. That's rare. Trust me, Mario is never gonna let somebody like him get out of Miami again.
No, I'm gonna say he's locking it down. He said, "What do we think about Miami's O-line? No holders. Hey, look, we say they played a clean game.
Bro, they ain't had no false starts again.
Yeah, and that's the testament to Mario.
No false starts.
And Mirabal got these boys locked in.
Remember all the false starts and all the false starts and false starts. I think Miami is clicking right now.
Right.
They clicking.
Olave.
They starting to Olave. That's him. Olave, Marvin Harrison, and Buka.
Yeah.
It's a couple other ones that he done put in the first round in the NFL at receiver. Why the hell wouldn't Jeremiah go there? Shit.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. So I don't knock him.
That's like Calipari coming to your house and your son is the star guard in basketball. And he's sitting down with you and your wife and son and telling you, look, give me 1 year and I will put your son in the league.
Right.
What you gonna say? Son, you going to Kentucky.
Right. It ain't nothing you can do about it.
Because he had 5 freshmen drafted in the first round. They all went in the league. So I'm sorry.
I heard what he said here. Hey, look, y'all guys smash that like button, man. And if y'all ain't subscribed to the channel,
button. Come on, share this channel, man.
Right.
Shout out to Wayne. He putting a lot of work in on this.
Now, what they saying is now with Donovan come back, he said when you have a 5-star, you don't develop, you just plug them in. And that's not all the time, though. Some 5-stars come in, don't play right away. You will wish it just depends, you know.
Look at Alabama.
Yeah.
Alabama had a whole room full of them.
Yeah.
What did I say before? You could be Mr. Everything in your town. He all football, all world. And then here comes Nick Saban recruiting you. And then when you get to the locker room, you was all world Missouri, but there go all world Georgia, all
Right.
world Alabama, all world Florida, and they all play the same position as you.
Right.
So now your ass got to compete.
Right. And ain't nobody trying to hear, well, I'm from such and such. That don't mean nothing.
Don't mean
when you going up against dogs, it don't make a difference. Because you don't think somebody out of Pennsylvania think he just as much as a dog, somebody from Florida, you know what I'm saying? Or somebody.
And I like that.
Yeah,
Listen,
that's good.
I love that, bro. I love to get.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get the best high school talent, and they got to compete with each other versus calling it quits and wanting to go. I don't want to go here. I want to go somewhere where I can play right away or start.
Right.
Your prima donna type kids. You don't want them.
Right. I don't think JJ is that. I just think the opportunity, the situation kind of fit.
No, I never thought JJ was.
Yeah, that's just where he was, what he was doing. I don't know him personally, but I mean, just to me, you can want to do one thing, but the situation dictates another. Like, I think he wanted to stay home, as he even admitted, but it just wasn't the right time yet. I think if it was the Canes now, he would have stayed home. That's being honest, They say you don't ruin a large portion of your NIL allotment on a non-QB position. I'm not going to turn down Smith, but it's not at a crazy number. I agree, yeah. You just can't throw the bag where you take it. Yeah, I agree. And I don't think Mario would do that anyway, because a lot of his money, I done heard it through several other channels, is he building it up through the trenches. He probably paying more money on trenches than I think than a lot of schools that's in there. He building it outside or inside out, rather.
And there are some other Malachis, and there are some other it's some other receivers down there coming out of high school that's real nice.
Right.
We lost a good one to Syracuse. Okay, fine. That's the decision he made, even though his mama was a legacy Miami person.
Right.
Good luck to him up there in the cold and snow playing for that clown of a coach he got up there. But okay.
Right.
Good luck to him. I'm not gonna wish ill on no kid. That's a decision he made. All right. I ain't gonna wish he get hurt or nothing. I hope he has a great time at Syracuse until he plays Miami. I hope they fucking break his neck. But
right. He says Ohio State at LSU. I think he meant or wide receiver U right now. I think that's what he meant to say.
LSU.
I mean, where LSU?
Ooh, I'm trying to think who come out of LSU. I'm not saying they didn't have nobody. I'm trying to think.
They had, of course, they played with Joe Burrow.
Oh, with Joe Burrow, that was 1 year.
And they had a couple guys come out.
Two guys come out of there with Burrow that played with Burrow. LSU had 1 year where they was relevant. They ain't been relevant since. And that was pre-NIL. So, yeah, they put together a squad. And what's name was the coach?
He said Jeremiah wanted to stay. His dad had a lot to do with him leaving. Maybe. I don't know. Like I said, I'm not tapped in. So
could be because his daddy saw some. Listen, we all fathers.
Right.
If they telling me, look, man, I done put 5 dudes in the NFL in the first round at this position that your son play. I am guaranteeing you, if he's willing to come here and put in the work and have the right attitude, I will put your son in the NFL after 3 years of college football if he chooses to leave after 3 years. Son, I want you to go to Ohio State. I know you want to stay home real bad, but you know what? This is business now.
Right.
Because you make it from high school to college to the NFL is a transition from playing really a sport you love to going into a multi-billion-dollar business now.
Right.
It's entertainment now. Pro football ain't sports. If it was pure football, we would really love it because you'd see some real head knocking out there, and you wouldn't.
Right.
And they'd all be playing on real grass and all this artificial. If it was for real. But it's entertainment now. So if I'm a dad and they come to me telling me, look, I'm going to guarantee your son to get drafted in the first round. He's going to be a millionaire before he's 23. On top, we're going to throw you some money now anyway. Hey, I love you, Miami, but guess what? Unless y'all match this shit he talking about, he going to Ohio State.
Right.
That's what he did. I can't be mad at him or his daddy for that decision. I can't. I can't be mad at no kid. I may question it. Like I said, the boy that went to Syracuse. Look at old boy that was transferred out of Syracuse that wanted all the money, and he went to Penn State. And Miami didn't bite on that shit. We got Malachi. What was his name? He was their slot guy. He was pretty good. Didn't do much at Penn State, but he was pretty good.
Oh, yeah. Damn, who was that?
To start with an N or something. I forgot his name.
Yeah, I can't think of it right now.
He was demanding big money, and Syracuse wasn't going to pay him that money.
Right. And
then Miami wasn't going to pay him that money, but Penn State did.
Right. Over there, it's been a record that I disagree with the Fletcher, because Fletcher and some other players of Miami supposed to go to Ohio State. And I get that.
Mario flipped them, bro. Mario flipped Fletcher.
And everybody's situation is different.
Yeah.
Every person and family dynamics is different.
Right. He flipped Fletcher. He flipped Pringle.
Right.
That was all Mario, man. Ohio State had Fletcher in the bag. They had what's name, the defensive tackle Scott. They had him.
Right.
Mario flipped them dudes.
Right.
Mario said, "Come home. We're gonna take care of business." You can't get everybody, but they got them. And look at them now. You should have seen Jeremiah dapping it up with everybody.
Yeah, man. Hey, look, that's love. And you could
tell. Dawson told him in his ear, man.
He told him something, like, hey,
you come down here, man. I'm a This Heartline going to the South Florida Bulls. So I would be shocked if Jeremiah go there.
Oh, he ain't going there, dog. It's a JJ. It's like that's what they was trying to think of. Julio Jones. That's what I was trying to think of. Talk about Jeremiah kind of reminds me of Julio Jones.
He better than Julio.
Yeah, I was just saying.
He better than Julio. I like Julio, but he better than dude. He remind me of Calvin Johnson.
Oh, they had Scary Terry too. OSU. Yes, hey, he was a beast.
Yep.
Scary Terry was a beast.
Yep.
No, I can't think of all his names.
He reminded me of what David Boston could have been.
Yeah. He said a real saved saying yesterday. I counted at least 5 holdings. Yeah. Hey, look, they was definitely letting them play. But yeah, we was sitting here yelling. We was yelling.
They was holding the dog every play. Like I said, I wouldn't change it for the game stopping every other play for a flag, because it was even. One flag against Miami in the second half, one flag against Ohio State for the holding.
Right.
That was pretty much it. There was a lot of holding going on. Miami got away. Frederick got away with a PI. Jeremiah got away with a push-off. The dude covering C.J. Daniels on the second deep ball definitely mugged him. That was a PI. And then refs let all that go.
Yeah. Here go the list here. It says somebody say Olave, Garrett, Wilson, yep, stud. Olave, stud. Amika, stud. Marvin, stud. Yeah, Scary Terry. Yeah, like I said, shit. I mean, you coming behind that, dog.
Well, I mean, as a father and your son, think about it. Your son played that position, and Heartline walking in the door, and he gonna pull out a piece of paper showing you, here it is, all these dudes I put in the league, first round, multimillionaires. What you gonna say to that?
Yeah.
Man, we loyal to Miami. We love Miami. Yeah, I can love Miami all day. I got to really be loving Miami to say I ain't worried about the money. I'm gonna rep my city no matter what.
It's that, or like some family dynamics. It could be kind of like
anything.
It could be kind of like and I don't even know if this is true, but the Arch Manning situation. Arch could have went anywhere in the country. He left, but his dynamics is different in his family. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes it just is different.
Who the D tackle that left Miami a couple years ago to go back to Florida State because his mama was sick, had cancer?
I can't think of his name right now, but I know you're talking about. Yeah,
he was a decent dude. Now, could he have been developed even better here, playing under Damian Lewis and Jason Taylor? Absolutely, because I thought he showed some signs of being pretty nice with Miami, and then he went to Portland, transferred, and some people kind of digged on him for going to Florida State. Right. I said it ain't because they was better. He from up that way, and his mama's sick.
Right. Yeah.
Your mama's sick. You gonna go be with your mother.
Right.
All that other BS can run. I want to be with my mother. She's sick. I don't know how much longer I'm gonna have my mom for.
Right.
So
Yeah.
I
Right.
can't blame that dude for doing that. So
Nah.
say everybody got different dynamics of why they do what they do. But as
Right.
far as Jeremiah go, it's his decision. He could stay there and finish. He know he's gonna be a first-round draft pick.
Right.
If he wants to chase some more hardware,
I mean, he gonna leave after next year anyway.
He may consider Miami.
Yeah.
He may consider Miami. It all depends on what was said to him and what's offered to him. And what is Ohio State's next move? What is Ohio State's trajectory compared to Miami's right now?
Who's gonna be the OC there next year? Who gonna, you know what I'm saying? There's a lot of different.
They haven't changed. Same with Miami. Shannon Dawson might get offered a job somewhere.
Right.
We don't know that. Or Miami might throw enough. That's another reason why I think Miami ain't throwing around too much NIL money. They want to keep Dawson and Heatherman around for a couple of years.
Yeah.
I think Mario is like, look, I got 6 years left on this contract with y'all. If we win this one this year, how many more can I win?
Right. Yeah.
My remaining years of my contract.
That's crazy. I honestly thought the Canes were about a couple of years away. I think we all thought that.
I was thinking 26. My thought was 26.
Yeah, we're not even gonna fake that funk on that. Yeah, we did think they would finish 10-2 this year. But we didn't think that. And I did an interview with Alex Dino on that. We talked about, which I got to go back and chop it up with him. We honestly thought they was going to be a one and done. Now this was early in the season. We thought they were good enough to get in, maybe win a game, and then that would be it. But look, we were wrong, and people can be wrong. You can only judge what you see at the time, you know. So that just happens. We'll take a couple here. Said, what up, Luke? This is what up, fellas? Nice win last night. Yes, sir.
Thank you. Great win. I woke up this morning. Watched the game in its entirety again. I was really looking at other details. Then I watched the keys to the game, the major plays of the game. Oh, wow. So I'm very happy with the win. I'm very impressed with the team. They did outstanding, man.
Yeah.
They did outstanding, and I'm very happy. My wife just texted me saying, what's she saying?
She said, you still on that thing? Yeah, hey, look, guys, before we get up out of here, smash that like button.
Are you still basking in the glory?
Yeah. And before we get out of here, hey, Lute, I'm going to holler at you because we might come back on and chop it up about the Bama game. And got some Bama fans, so might be back.
I'm interested to see that. I want to see that game. They out there with them rollers, getting all that water out the road.
Yeah, that's gonna be an interesting game.
It was raining.
And the interesting part about that game, Miami, Bama ain't ran the ball good all year. It's gonna be kind of some rough condition.
I'm tripping. That game was in the Sugar Bowl in New Orleans.
Oh, okay. No, who playing in the other one? Georgia?
Ole Miss is playing in that late game in Pasadena this evening.
Oh, shit, yeah. Well, that set up good. Set up better for Georgia. Shit.
At least it stopped raining. They showed it. They were sitting there during halftime.
Right.
The sky looks partly cloudy. I'm like, okay, it quit raining because all day yesterday and all night and this morning, they had the whole field covered past the goalpost.
Right.
Because it was just a steady downpour of rain. I thought, man, that game's gonna suck. I think the parade was a rainy parade, you know.
Yeah.
So hopefully they can find a way to drain that field and get it nice, and they can have a decent game.
All right, guys out there, subscribe to the channel. We'll be back later on, and we are out.